Are we rolling? Oh, no.
Mhm.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, we are rolling. Yes, we are. Okay. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
This is what happens when it gets later in the week, and it was a long day. Yep,
Ugh,
it's true. If only I could make book reading be my full-time job.
that'd be ideal.
Someday, someday. So
And I-
my goal when I grow up, you know.
Oh yeah, what I want to see.
This week I'm pretty excited.
Yes, finally, finally.
Yes, I finally got Mel to read it.
Yep, Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated.
She a thick one.
She's
Yes.
thick, and you
Uh,
loved it so much that I was a little worried because I was
I
like,
know.
what if I don't like
Well, if you
it?
don't like it, then you don't like it. That's okay. Yeah, it's 552 pages.
Yeah,
So she thick.
that's probably the longest romance I've ever read.
Lucy Score is notorious for thick books. She, I've got, so this was the very first book that I ever got from her. I believe I found it on Book Talk
Mm,
because the cover's so pretty.
very pretty.
So I bought this, and now I own 7 of her books. She is an instant buy for me, for sure.
hmm
I'm also part of her newsletter, and she
You've
cracks me
had me
up.
read some of those. They're pretty good.
They're hilarious. Um, yeah, she's great. I mean, I'm sure you can guess what I rated it. 5 out of 5.
I also gave it a 5 out of 5. This is the first in what has become the Knock 'em Out series. The town they're in is called Knock 'em Out. So the second one just came out recently, Things We Hide from the Light.
Yes.
And the third is coming out later this year, like September, I want to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, I already pre-ordered it. It's coming out. I want to say beginning of September,
Okay. That
I
one
believe.
I don't recall the title of. I just know it's
L-
purple. This first one's
Yes.
blue, like a light blue. The second's a light pink, and then the third is going to be purple, which I love a good coordinating series.
The
Real.
third one is going to be Things We Left Behind. That is going to come out September 5th.
Okay.
And Things We Had from the Light came out in February. So
Oh,
she's
oh
already got
wow.
the third one.
When did this one come out? Was it
This one
sometime
came out
last year?
January 13th, 2022.
Okay. Wow. So
It's pretty
she took the
impressive
year and
how
boom,
thick.
went third. It is
Yeah,
very thick. I
it's
think
very
the
thick.
sequels or the companion novels are just as thick. I don't think they're much shorter, if any.
The second one's thicker. Second one's 589 pages.
Okay.
The third one, we have no idea. Well, if we do, it's not on Goodreads, so I'm not entirely sure. So this book is about Naomi and Knox. The second one is about Nash and let me think, Lina, Lina. I think it's Lina.
Yeah.
And then the third one, which is highly anticipated, is about Lucian and Sloane. So the first book, you get a little glimpse of Lucian and Sloane, kind of their history, the way they act around each other. Second book supposedly starts like right after, like picks up right after the first one ends. The second book
Okay.
starts. So there's no time in between.
That's nice.
Um, I have not heard anything about the third one.
Right.
Um, third one has not even come out yet, and it has a 4.21 star rating already.
That's
So,
fantastic.
so yes, highly, highly anticipated. Everyone's
So
freaking
this
out about it.
yeah, this book follows Knox Morgan. The second one is his brother Nash, and then
Yeah,
the third is their very close, basically third brother, Lucian.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and they're all like the standalone series. I forget what those are called. Interconnected standalones, connected standalones.
Yeah,
That there's a term.
I mean, yeah, you could read them alone, but I honestly, I would read them in
Yeah,
order
it gives you
because,
insight on the relationships.
yeah, backstories, things
Yeah.
like that.
So
Yeah,
I'm
so
I'm pretty damn excited for Lucian and Sloane's because
I
there's
know,
animosity there.
I know, and
That has to be second chance romance or
I
something.
haven't had time to read the second book, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't even
Yeah.
think I got my mom to read this book. She took the second one. I haven't even read it. I don't think she's started the
Started
second
it.
one yet. No. I guess I could read
The
what it's
better.
about. Yes. Naomi Witt is on the run, not just from her fiance and a church full of well-wishers, but from her entire life. Although if you ask her, Naomi's riding to the rescue of her estranged hot mess of a twin, Tina, to knock him out, a rough around the edges town where disputes are settled the old-fashioned way, with fists and beer, usually in that order. Too bad for Naomi, her evil twin hasn't changed at all. After helping herself to Naomi's car and cash, Tina leaves behind something unexpected. The niece Naomi didn't know she had. Now she's a guardian to an 11-year-old going on 30 with no car, no money, and no plan. There's a reason this bearded bad boy barber doesn't get involved with high maintenance women, especially not type A romantic ones. But since Naomi's life imploded right in front of him, the least Knox can do is help her out of her jam. And just as soon as she stops getting into new trouble, he can leave her alone and get back to his quiet, solitary life. At least that's the plan. The dynamic between the main characters are amazing.
Yeah.
I also like all of the like side characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really. Oh,
Oh, are we back?
yeah. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Oh,
Okay,
and you're
okay,
back. And you're
okay.
back.
I'm back. I'm
I,
back.
I really liked the other bartenders at his bar.
Yeah,
Love them.
I just
And
I
oh,
like I like all the little side characters.
yeah, it
They
made
make
it such like a truly like small town feeling. Like you got
yes,
to know a lot of the people in that town. It wasn't overwhelming. I think because of the length of the book, you were slowly introduced to them. You got time to get to know them, and then you saw the next person. And like, I never had to look back and be like, "Wait, who is this?" I was like, "Wait, what's this name?" Like, I always knew
yeah,
who they were talking about.
yeah. And it's been a while since I've read it. I don't I know so I read
I read
this
it sometime
last year.
last year. Yeah,
Yeah, I read this last year. So it's been like at least 6 months since I've read it. And this book was my number one of all the books that I read last year.
yeah, that's a good title.
This is the
And
top
now,
one.
wow, loved it.
And
I have so many
I
tabs in mine, and
yeah, what are some of the tabs that you've got? We're not gonna go, I mean, we're not gonna
I
go
mean, you can kind of get the
through.
gist. It's a grumpy sunshine, small town.
It's got some
Not
good
quite
spice.
enemies. It does have some good spice. And the conversations were so natural and like realistic. Nothing
Yes.
felt cheesy. And I was worried that with a book this length, I would find some parts slow or be like have parts where like it was kind of zoning out or something.
Yeah.
But I was in it the whole way through. And like looking back and be like, oh, are there parts they could take out to make it shorter or anything? No, I don't think there are any useless scenes or it all is purposeful and really builds who the characters are.
And I felt like the chapters also felt like just the right length.
Yeah, they were good. I have a lot of some of the things Naomi and oh, what is the niece's name? It's kind of weird, so I never really
Waylay.
Lele. That's right.
Yeah, they call her Way, I think, because it's
Yeah, something.
Waylay, I think. Yeah, it's called Waylay. And it was kind of funny because, like I said, my mom read this book and she was like, "That's a funky name. I don't understand that, that name." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't either."
Yeah, I marked down like things I found funny, like how like every time Naomi gets like a really good coffee at the beginning and she asks the guy like, "Are you married?" Oh, damn it. Good ones are
Yeah.
always taken. Like,
Yeah.
someone, she'll always be like, you single?
Yeah, and also, so they're, like I read in the back of the book, she has a twin sister, Tina, who like is super rowdy and just was causing a ruckus in the town. And so at the beginning, Knox mistakes Naomi for Tina, and it's just like, we told you to get lost and like get out of here. And she's like, she just starts getting all defensive, and it's so funny reading her like her interaction with Knox, how she's like,
Yeah.
you don't scare me, and like all this stuff. It's so funny. I could
She's
see
like,
this
I'm
big
gonna
burly
take this
guy.
copy that this nice man has made for me, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go, and
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna let me.
I loved it. Also, it was so Naomi, because she's like not from this town and her sister steals her car and her money, she has nowhere to go. And so Knox has this like little cabin that she can
Yes.
live in. That's on his mom's property.
Turns out it's his mom, or grandma.
Or it's grandma. Yeah, it's his grandma. And so it's so funny seeing like her dynamic too. Oh, my cat wants in. I'll be right back.
Okay.
She's so needy.
This book was a good mix of humor and like more serious moments and romance and family and because
Yeah.
I mean throughout this romance book she's dealing with having this niece that like she doesn't know if her sister's coming back or when, if at all, and do I need to take custody of this child? And she's a runaway bride and
Mhm.
she just bought a house and so she ran away from all that, so she doesn't have a job now, a car, and her wallet's been taken and her laptop, and she has to find a job and she can barely support herself, so how she goes to take care of this child, and it's just like her being integrated into this small community and them all like taking her in, and every time like she gets in a fight with Knox, like everyone starts giving him shit and be like, how could you make Naomi mad? And it's just really funny.
Yeah.
This whole thing, and she gets a job at a
Oh,
bar
at
that
the
he owns,
bar.
and
Yeah,
she
yeah, he
trick.
owns that. And she'll wear like littler outfits, or she'll flirt with like the guys at the bar to get
Yeah,
like better tips, and he's just like, you can't be letting her do that. And
yeah,
it's just he gets so protective. But I mean, this book does have, like you said, some serious parts. So like at one point, Knox's brother gets shot, so they're dealing with that. And then
yeah.
towards the end, Tina does come back,
Mhm.
and tricks her daughter to come with her. And I mean, they kidnap Naomi because there's basically this drive for the computer that has all these basically bad cops on it. And Tina, her boyfriend, is the son of a mobster but wants to be his
Yeah,
own mob guy.
yeah,
And so he's like threatening to shoot Naomi
hmm,
and all this stuff. So there's kind of like a hostage situation, and also Naomi's having to deal with Child Protective Services because now she's got this kid and she's got to like tell them I'm
yeah.
actually like it's
Let's
okay
stay with
for
adult.
her to stay with me. And
Eventually,
also,
Naomi's ex-fiance shows up, and she's
yeah,
having this like no strings attached, quote unquote, thing with Knox at one point, and
yeah.
it's just
When
it's so
Naomi's
good.
parents had no idea that they even had a
Oh yeah.
granddaughter, so then they like rush down and to meet
Uh,
her. And yeah, it's pretty great. And I guess I can also do my Goodreads
oh yeah.
Goodreads
I
bit.
do want to mention this quote. Um,
Yes.
they're starting to get it on in the car,
Mhm. As one
and
does.
um, Naomi like moves and like honks the horn, and she's like, "Oops, sorry, that was my butt. I mean, my butt hitting your horn, not like my butt." And I was like, it was just moments like that. I'm like, I found it hilarious and be like, well, that was my butt. Oh, I mean, my butt didn't make that sound, but
Yeah.
it made this.
It it made it more real because
Yeah,
obviously like in the heat of the moment they're not going to be like, Oh my God. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
romance books a lot of times make the romance part like too extravagant or like
yeah.
too over the top where you're like, that would never happen.
Like
That's like
yeah, it would
Fabio
never
with like
happen
the
like
hair
that.
blowing in the wind. Like, that
Yeah.
would, it's
If
never
something weird
always
didn't happen in
perfect.
car, you're like, there's no way, easy way to maneuver in a car. You're gonna bump
Yeah,
into something. So
yeah. And so Lucy, she definitely makes these books like more real.
yeah.
Like I could see that happening
And
kind
you
of
get
thing.
to know all like the side characters. So like now you know this whole town. And
Yeah.
then the second book, we get to go back to that town and see all the same faces, and it's just fun. I really liked it.
Yeah. And I'm like I said, so everyone's really excited about the third book because you kind of get a snippet. So Lucian isn't really like he comes in like about midway through and he
Yeah,
was gone. I don't remember why, but he was gone.
they say
Yeah.
why.
I feel like they did, but I don't really remember. And so all of a sudden, like, so Sloane is the librarian, and you kind of get this dynamic that like something happened between them. It's like they hate each other, but they love each other. It's this very weird
Yeah,
dynamic.
everyone's like, what's the deal with them? And they're like, I don't know. He won't say. And they'll be like, what's the deal with her? And be like, I don't know. She won't say. And so it's this whole like mystery because they've told no one. And
No, they don't say anything.
you just want to know
They
what
refuse.
happened.
So I'm excited to see how the book starts. Like, is it going to start from the beginning or is it going to start in due
Yeah,
time?
I wonder if it's gonna be like a dual timeline type of thing, like the now and then flashback to what happened.
Also, this book is really so it changes between Nox's point of view and Naomi's, but it's really easy to keep track of.
Yeah. And I think I prefer romance where you can get both sides.
I do enjoy that, yes. I like it. Yeah, no, this is like I said, the chemistry between the characters are really like prominent and told really well in the book. It's not like too cheesy or anything like that. And it's definitely like you get that grown up aspect, like
Yeah.
with the spice and also like the heavy things with the guns and kind of that kind of stuff.
Like I bet you this is gonna be a movie one day.
That'd be a fantastic movie. Or I could see it as a series. Kind of
Mini
like so there was a Debbie Maycomer series, something Cove. Anyways, I think there was like 12 books in the series.
oh
And
no.
each book was technically a standalone because it was about a certain couple, but they were all, oh, Cedar Cove. So they were all within this town called Cedar Cove, which was in Washington. And they actually made it into a series, like a TV series. Mom and I used to watch it. But I really liked the books because it had that small town feel, and each book was a couple in there, but you'd be reading about one couple in one of the books. So
Mm-hmm.
they would like you'd all get to know them within the books, even though like one book was about maybe a certain couple.
Were they
So
all kind of like happening at the same
yeah,
time?
yeah,
Technically, oh,
yeah. So I really liked it. But if you liked like one couple more than the other, you could like read their book kind of
just read
thing.
it. Yeah.
But it had the other characters in it as well, so it didn't
That's
feel like
fun.
too much of a standalone. So I
Yeah.
really, yeah. I think it was like on Hallmark or something. It
That
definitely
sounds
with a
right.
baby Maycomer, definitely catered to the older generation, but I liked it, so oh well. So I think because of book talk, this book
hmm
has quite a
Oh,
big
yeah.
rating.
Oh yeah, we're getting
Um,
to Ashley's rowdy ratings.
yes, we're getting to well, we will get to the rowdy one-star ratings, which are gonna kill
Oh,
me because I absolutely love this book. But so out of the 468,237 ratings this book has
oh.
gotten, it is at a 4.23 stars, which is
Mm-hmm.
pretty dang good.
It's good.
Let's go to these one star, these rowdy one stars.
Causing a ruckus.
Um, uh, one
Your
person,
face right now.
well, one person rated it, you were in your 40s and decided to pee in your backyard.
I
You know,
mean, if you're out there living by yourself and you're taking your dog out in the morning and you're a man.
Right. Another person rated 1 star. Wish I had the power to go back in time to steal the manuscript for this. Ouch.
Oh, did you
Someone
just cheat?
DNF'd it.
Oh God.
Welcome to today's episode of Criminally Overrated Books. Oh, wow. The amount of millennial humor toward coffee should be a crime.
It's the correct amount of appreciation for coffee.
No thank you, Knox. Awful. Didn't get past halfway. I liked Naomi enough and felt for her in the beginning, but hated Knox.
What?
Quit on
Ugh.
page 22. This reads like a teenager wrote it. Too much cheesy dialogue full of unnecessary crude language. Not interested. Swipe. Crude
Hold up.
language.
Okay, so they got to the end of chapter 2. They didn't start chapter 3. I'm trying to figure out what they ended on. Oh, it's when she gets in the car so he can drive her to the police station to. That's like nothing.
Yeah. Another person, the premise is stupid, the writing is stupid, I don't understand. Oh, wow.
You're stupid.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. This was like a Disney Channel original movie, but for adults.
I'm not offended by that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed them then, and I enjoy this now.
Someone rated 1 star. I can't believe I finished this book. Yeah, definitely DNF this. DNF page 32.
I
Knox Morgan, I
wonder.
hate you. Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I wonder how many of these people saw the hype and just wanted to hate on it, and so went in wanting to hate on it. So I wonder how many of those people actually didn't like it or just made them like psych themselves out to not like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, so this one person said, I truly do not understand why this book is so long. I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be a romance novel or a suspense. What? Suspense for
You have a
what?
problem with that? Also, it's not that suspenseful.
No. Is it
I
because
mean,
of Tina?
it's not
Like,
even thriller. It's just a romance in a small town of like the shit that happens there. If anything, it's more just like literary fiction, but it's definitely more romance. I mean, you need to have
yeah,
conflict.
I thought this book was fantastic. So that was my rowdy 1 star ratings, and
Those
boy,
rowdy
are those people rowdy.
and
I
wrong.
and
A big
wrong.
old R for wrong.
Underline, capitalize, wrong.
I forgot what to say. When I was at work today and I forgot what I did.
Mhm.
But Keely was like talking to me and I was like, well, Keely, I don't know. I can't read. And one of the doctors were walking by and you just hear him laughing.
So I'm going to also there's a girl that I follow on Book Talk called Isabella. I also follow her on TikTok. Um her book ratings are like she likes the same books that we do, and
Oh,
so I really like following her content.
mhm.
She rated this 5 star last year, and she said Knox Morgan could ruin my life and I would appreciate every moment of it.
I really like Knox, but the glimpses that we get of Nash, I also really liked.
I'm real excited. And you
Like,
kind of so um there's a point in this book that I believe Nash we get a glimpse of like something's going on with his neighbor while he's
yeah,
injured, and Lena's his neighbor. So
oh, that's right.
we kind of get a glimpse
Little
of what the
hint.
second book is going to be. Yeah. And also with the third one, we get a glimpse of kind of Sloane and Lucian's dynamic as well. And so that's why everyone's freaking out that the third
So
one
good.
finally is coming out because they want to know the
Yeah.
backstory.
One of my favorite parts in this book is at one point at the bar in the back room, Lucian and some other super filthy rich guys are playing poker. in the
Mhm.
legal poker game because they're not supposed to be gambling. And Naomi's waitressing out front, but also like doing the orders for the people playing at the poker table. And then Nash comes in, and Nash is a police officer. And so Knox is like, can you just go distract him like really fast? And she's like, no, I'm not gonna help you. And he's like, I'll give you $20. And she's like, okay, I'll go distract him. And so like she like flirts with him, and Nash is like, did my brother send you here to get me to not go in the back and find out about that poker game? She's like, yep. And Knox ends up coming over and they talk, and Naomi's like, okay, I gotta go. Nice flirting with you, Nash. And he's like, oh, pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, so Nash flirts to try to get Nox
Yeah,
super mad because he knows that like Nox has feelings for her but doesn't want to admit it.
yeah,
And also a thing that we did not state that was not a big thing. Um, but Knox won the lottery. He won
yeah,
huge money. He's a millionaire.
yeah.
Um,
He's not
but he
outward
doesn't
with it.
he does not like to talk about it. Also, this book does kind of bring up addiction as well. So Knox's dad is an alcoholic and lives in like a homeless camp kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um, so we kind of get that, but the book does end on a happy note. His father has been sober for a little while, and he has a relationship with his dad again. And then they can't have their own children. I don't
yeah.
remember why.
It just says that
Probably
they
that they just can't. Yes, but
the private child couldn't, and then they adopt.
they adopt a 3-year-old and a baby.
It's very
So
cute.
cute, I think. And I kind of like that. Like a
Yeah,
lot of books, they have the baby, everything's
she's
perfect,
pregnant.
and there's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
But
It
this also
shows
shows,
alternative because there are
yeah,
people who can't have their own kids but are perfectly happy with the little family that they can adopt, and it's important to like
yeah,
showcase all different kinds of families. So it was really nice that she did adopt, and it shows them happy, and
yeah.
each set of parents are there, and it's all cute, and they're all excited over the girls.
I think this book, the
Yeah,
balance was impeccable.
it was so good. Like I
Yeah.
was laughing at some parts, and then other parts I was like, oh, that's so sad.
I have been wanting you to read this book for so long.
I know, I know. It's
And
just,
then,
I don't know. It's the
no,
size just
it
kept.
was a long, and so then
Maybe I
finally
don't
I
have
was
time.
like,
I can't have time right now. And then I
yeah.
read through most of it. I think I was done in like 2 days or something.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's how long it took me to, and finally I was like, we're doing this for the podcast because this is my favorite book and we're gonna
yeah,
do it.
so good. Well, I have our
And
normal romance book questions too.
okay, let's go for it.
All right, first is tropes.
Definitely Grumpy Sunshine.
Mm.
I would say almost kind of like friends to lovers. I mean, maybe close proximity.
Forced proximity. Not quite enemies to lovers either.
No, I would say more kind of like friend, like
Small town.
yeah,
Um, they kind of do um the no strings attached, the kind of friends with benefits deal
yeah.
a little bit. So you ride the roller coaster with
You
them.
really do. It's worth it. The ride's
It's
worth
so
it.
worth it. All right, spice rating. I kind of want to give it like I don't think it's quite a 4. Maybe like a 3.75, or should we just go for a 4?
I'm thinking maybe like a 4. I'm
A
trying to
straight
think.
4? I mean,
It's so funny because I'm thinking a 1 is like the red, white, and royal blue, and
mm.
then I'm thinking 5 is priest because oh dear God, I mean, that book still haunts me. So I
Oh, you
mean,
know what? Kind of flipping through.
yeah,
It might just be a 4.
I'm thinking of
It
4.
might be high enough for a 4.
It was pretty good. It was
It's
pretty
very good.
good. And also, if I remember correctly, she didn't use any weird terminology like most romance novelists do,
No,
right?
nothing sticks out. And
She didn't
usually I
comment on like
remember.
she didn't comment on like how big her boobs are, or
Yeah,
sometimes they like call the body parts weird things
yeah.
that make
No,
me
I don't
uncomfy.
recall any.
But I don't think
I don't think I remember anything because usually I remember and be like, oh, that one part, because it really just takes you out of it, and then you're like, oh, I'm reading a book, and so I don't recall having that feeling.
no, I would say a solid 4. Now it does, I mean, since this book is so big, it does take a little while to get to that, but the build up
Yeah,
I feel like is what
it's good.
makes
It
it so
makes it
great.
once they actually do get together, you're like, yes,
It's like the foreplay. You need that to get
you
to the main event.
need that.
Exactly. Lucy knows what she's doing.
All right, couple believability,
100%.
100%.
I trying to think. I feel like is she a lot shorter than Knox?
I
In
don't think
my
she's
head,
a lot shorter.
I don't know. In my head, I just think of like this
Oh,
tinier girl, and then he's like this big burly man. I don't know why. That's just what
what
comes to my
happened?
mind. Yeah.
But I see it, especially since you get both points of views. You can see them struggle with accepting that they like the other person and that they actually want
Yeah.
to be with them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so slow burn question mark. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely that.
Yeah. Um okay, this one's what do you think happens to the leads after the ending? They
They
say
live
it happens.
happily ever after.
Yeah, with the family. And would you fall for either of them?
I think Knox. I almost feel like I would be more for Nash. I
Nash.
don't. I'm thinking Nash.
Because I don't think I would have gotten to know Knox enough to actually. Because the part I like of Knox is when
Mhm.
he finally comes out of the shell a little bit more. I don't think
Yeah.
I would have given him really the time of day.
I think Nash probably.
But,
I really want to read the second book. It's just I gotta you gotta find the time.
yeah, yeah,
But but I could see it. Like I maybe
yeah,
with the
maybe.
close proximity. Yeah, maybe.
The next one, will you read the next one? Hell yeah.
Do you own it?
I do have it.
Okay. I
I
couldn't
need
remember if you
it.
did.
Yeah. Um, and then how'd you like the writing?
I loved the
Up-
writing. I mean, I loved it so much that now she's an insta buy and I've got 7 of her books.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like a really weird compliment, but it is a compliment when I can read a book and I'm not like paying attention to how it's written,
Yeah.
but it's just so well written. It's playing like a movie in my head and I'm just going and going. Because if it was bad writing or awkward phrasing or something, then I stop. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, you reread them
Yeah.
and you're like, that doesn't make sense in my head.
Or
Now, would
funky
you
or whatever.
would you buy more of her books?
Yeah, probably. I think I would look for ones like I would read the synopsis and see if it's something that would interest
Okay.
me.
Yeah, that
And
makes
the
sense.
only reason why she wouldn't be an instant buy is because I don't think I have the heart to take so many long books that I really want to read.
Yep, that's what I'm dealing with. Yeah,
So I'm not
because
letting myself fall in love like that.
because I have them in my room and they just stare at me constantly. And she she's got a good mixture. So she's got there's one that's called Maggie Moves On, which I believe is about a woman that flips houses, and so she falls in love with the carpenter, I want to say, but she does like YouTube, so you kind of see like their dynamic. Um, there's another one called Rock Bottom Girl. That one I believe is about a football star.
Hmm.
She's got, I
It's
think
quite a backlist.
there's one of her books that here, let me see if I can get to her books. That person that I was telling you about, Isabel, she says is like the best book she's ever written. It's The Worst Best Man. So that
Oh,
one,
yeah, I've heard of that before.
yeah, I'm
Mm.
trying to think. I'm pretty sure it's just about like I'm trying to see. Yeah, the bride is a doll, the groom is the perfect gentleman, but the rest of the wedding party, they're the stuff of nightmares. Rich, check. Entitled Not Enough Checks in the World, and the best man more like the worst man. And so the Francesca is the maid of honor, and she's trying to like deal with the best man.
Oh,
And
that's
then yeah, Rock Bottom Girl, I believe, is about a football guy, and then oh, the Pretend You're Mine, which is what I just got recently. That one's about a guy that's going to be deployed again with the National Guard. So she kind of has like all these different tropes.
yeah. I was gonna say, so like choose your poison. If there's probably gonna be at least one of her books you'll like.
Yeah. I own another one of her book called By a Thread. Um that one is about coworkers, Dominic and Allie. Yeah, she's got quite a bit of different, like I said, different tropes.
And I keep
Um
seeing more and more of them in Target, so they're easily accessible.
Yeah, Forever Never is another one of her books that's
Oh,
falling for your brother's high school sweet. So it says
the what?
you don't fall for your brother's high school sweetheart, your boss's daughter, or your ex-wife's best friend, especially when they're all the same woman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I need that one. And the cover's super pretty on that one. I remember that.
All honestly, like
Not
all of her Rock Bottom Girl has a beautiful sunset. Forever Never has kind of this like frosted forest look. Um, By a Thread's got this pretty kind of like cartoony dress on it. Pretend Your Mind has a beautiful like it's got a hummingbird and it kind of has like sunset vibes. But I mean, she also has, so she's got this series called Blue Moon series where it's like the typical like
spicy with the
guy.
pan on
Yeah. Yeah. And I think so I I honestly feel that maybe some of these she's like starting to change the cover of
Yeah, once
would
they
be my
become more
guess.
popular, they
I'm
tend to be
not
released with
entirely
the
sure.
street cover. Like the whole the Ice Planet Barbarian series all had
Mhm.
like a man cover on it, and now they're all being made into like the cutesy little animated covers.
Yeah. Also, I love that Lucy calls her husband Mr. Lucy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
she says, or in her like little bio, she writes full time from the Pennsylvania home she and Mr. Lucy share with their obnoxious cat Cleo. When not spending hours crafting heartbreaker heroes and kick-ass heroines, Lucy can be found on the couch, in the kitchen, or at the gym. She hopes to someday write from a sailboat, oceanfront condo, or tropical island with reliable Wi-Fi. Sign up for her never annoying newsletter. She's got
She sounds
she's got a
funny.
ton of books. I think she's been writing since like 2017 is from what I can tell. Yeah, looks like 2017. And she's got like some books it looks like she's published together with people, like some holiday books and things like that. But she's got quite a selection, and of course like her Things We Never Got Over is in like a different languages, and it's pretty crazy.
I'm reading her acknowledgments in the back.
Oh, I haven't even read those.
One says, Mr. Lucy, for telling me to quit worrying about deadlines and pub days and just focus on writing the best story I could. Following that is sparkling water for pretending to be soda.
So funny. Oh my gosh. It's
One says,
honestly
Joyce
hilarious.
and Tammy for beta reading things we never got over and assure me that it wasn't an emotional dumpster fire.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Yeah,
So,
she's
bottom
great.
line, read this book.
Yes. Please read
Definitely.
it. I know it can be daunting how big this book is. I understand that. It was pretty daunting for me, but honestly, it doesn't feel like anything once you start getting into it. You're not even paying attention to
I
how
was
many pages
surprised
you have
I
left.
was done by the time I was done.
I know. It doesn't feel like anything at all. So I would highly, highly suggest it. That's my 2 cents. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Next
Have
week
you? Oh,
what?
I just have a question for you. Since this was your favorite book of last year,
Mm-hmm.
have you read anything this year yet that outplaces it?
Hmm.
Is there any that beats it?
I'm gonna be honest. I've got to go into my Goodreads to remember what books I've read.
That's fair.
I mean, the fine print was pretty good.
It's good.
The bromance book club
The
was
romance book.
pretty great. I mean, definitely Kit McBride gets a
I was
wife.
gonna say, shoot, we did read Kit McBride. I have my copy of
Ooh,
Morgan McBride. Oh, what book did you remember?
Icebreaker.
Oh,
That
you
was
did read Icebreaker.
Icebreaker was pretty good. Oh, but Better Than the Movies was also good. We've read
Oh,
some
that
good
was
ones.
such a good
And
book.
Book Lovers.
And we're gonna be reading these reads soon. We are knocking it out of the park with these.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a hard one. I'm gonna be honest because Book Lovers was fantastic. Better Than the Movies was wonderful. Although that's a YA, and I
Yeah,
feel like it's not so.
that
I
one
feel like
was
it's
like
not.
the exception of we prefer a romance with some spice. And
Yeah,
that's like
so
the one outlier.
I would say the equivalent of this book to ones that we've read with the spite, like everything,
Mhm.
would be Icebreaker for
You
me.
did the Icebreaker.
Because Kit McBride didn't really have any spice, which is totally fine. But I'm
No,
just
but
saying, like,
also it's set in the 1800s, so like,
yeah, knees were frowned upon. I
oh,
mean,
mhm.
um, Bromance Book Club was pretty good, but I
I
would
think you
have
like
to
other ones
say
in that series better.
probably. I mean, I liked it, but
Yeah.
I would say Icebreaker
Icebreaker.
would
Mhm.
be the equivalent so far. We've got 6 more months of this year.
Classic. Uh, we
Um,
should do episodes of like each genre and like our top five. Like a romance, a
okay,
thriller,
okay.
a suspense.
Yeah,
And just sort of separate from
we
thriller.
haven't really read YA or fantasy.
Yeah. We're getting into fantasy since we have go check out our schedule, our book schedule on Baby
Hmm.
Got Stacked podcast on Instagram. We have
Yes.
our schedule and we will be reading Ninth House coming soon, which is very
Yeah.
exciting. But our next one, because it's nearing the good old 4th of July here in the United States.
It's the firework day of the year.
The yes, terrifying loud noises with scary lights in the sky time of year.
Hmm. Yep.
We have the closest to an American book in the title as we could find,
Yeah, bear
and
with us.
yeah, it is the American Roommate Experiment
Yes.
by
Uh, Elena, I think it's Elena.
Elena
Uh, Armas.
Elena Armas. That sounds right. And this is the second in like the series that has the
It's a
first
series,
book
not a
being
series.
Spanish. I think
Like,
it's like the standalone
yeah.
whatever. I don't know if like there's similar characters in them or not. But the first one is the Spanish Love Deception, which Ashlee owns
I
in
do. I haven't read it.
no.
Um,
I've heard wild things. Either people love the Spanish Love Deception and will fight to the death for it,
or
or
they,
hate it
yeah,
and would
yeah,
rather put it in a grave.
yeah.
So
Oh,
I haven't heard much about this one, to be honest. Most people must have just stopped after the Spanish Love Deception and not gone on. But yeah, I haven't heard much about the second one.
so I'm 6 pages into this,
Oh,
and
okay.
I was already cracking up because
Oh.
it starts with the character, like the main character,
Mhm.
going to her best friend's house, and she's there alone, and all of a sudden someone's trying the door, and she has no idea that her best friend's cousin is also staying there, and so he's
Oh,
trying to get in, and he's like, "Let me in," and she's like, "Oh my God, like someone's trying to get in and
freaking.
burglarize." So she's like, "I'm gonna call 911," and he's like, he was like, "Okay, haha, very funny, like this is a joke."
Let
And
me
then
in.
she was like, and then all of a sudden you hear 911, what's your emergency? And he was like, wait, what? You're actually calling them? And then he was like, okay, very funny. Like, where's the cameras? Ha ha. And then you just hear on the phone, like, there is a deranged man outside. And he was like, deranged, like through the door. It's so
Okay,
funny.
I can get into that. I can
So,
get into.
so far, so good.
Hmm.
And it's definitely
Maybe.
thinner than what, I mean, I feel
It.
like House on Vesper Sands was pretty long. The
Yeah.
Ted Bundy
So
one was like 550. So this
definitely
one,
long. So anything surrounding a 300 number is going to be a-okay.
this one's 383.
Oh, okay. I'm okay with that still.
And then also the acknowledgments start with "Holy smokes!" So that really happened, huh? I love it.
Okay. Maybe not
Yeah,
everyone gets their humor or something.
maybe it does have
I
a
guess we'll find
doggy.
out.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
doggy
it
on
does
the
have
back.
a doggy in the back.
I don't
All
know
right,
where the
so
doggy comes into view,
we'll
but
find out.
I'm pretty excited about it. But so
Tune
far,
in next week when we
it's
find
pretty good.
out.
Yeah, so far it's pretty hilarious with her calling the police. I thought it was pretty good.
So yeah, if
Definitely.
you want to see what else we're reading in July, check out our Instagram, Baby Got Stacks Podcast. We also have a link in the bio to our Goodreads and TikTok and drum roll. Sounds great.
Thanks.
Our audio for our podcast is being uploaded to YouTube. You can check out Reading with Melon on YouTube. We have no visuals, it's audio. We're not ready.
You don't need to
We're
see our
not ready.
faces.
I mean, it's been a long Thursday after work, and
I do
we
this
need
after I
it.
get out of the shower. I got no makeup on.
I'm in the dark right now. It just progressively got darker.
She is. She definitely is in the dark. And I just, yeah,
One day we
no
might do
one,
a select few when we have the time to actually prepare. We can upload.
maybe, maybe when we do, because we do have, eventually we'll post them, but we do have some bonus episodes. Maybe the bonus episodes can be
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in person, because usually if we do it right, there'll be like hauls or things like
yeah.
that. And so
That'll be easier to show.
we're normally like
Yeah,
with makeup on
yeah.
because we
Because
just
we
got
just
back.
got back shopping.
Yeah. So we look way more presentable than we do because I'm
Yeah,
literally sitting on my bed. This is not
yeah.
professional whatsoever.
We also never claim to be, so don't you guys go thinking we
That's
are.
true. Also, I feel like you guys probably listen to us because we're not professional. It's just a roller coaster of emotions, and it's probably
Mhm.
really entertaining. I
I
would
mean,
be.
I listen to these back because I have to edit them. I
That's
crack up
true.
at ourselves.
We're funny. I think we're hilarious.
We're highly entertaining to ourselves.
We're really rowdy.
Not as rowdy as those damn reviews.
My rowdy 1-star reviews. They sure are rowdy.
Gotta round them up. All right, we need to go.
We need to go. We need to go. It's
Yeah,
time.
follow
It's
us if
time.
you're listening to this podcast. Give us a like. I don't know. Can you like podcasts? I don't know how that works.
Like us. Just like us. That's all I have to say.
We're leaving now. We're sorry.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.